Hiyo interview ya Ichungwa, like sijapata place naweza iwatch yote. Hebu niambieni. Nimewatch two snippets hapa TikTok and all I can say it's giving ushaiswetaga wewe. Ushaiswet. Yani every statement he was saying, every statement. Hassan alikuwa hapo like, you see how you're talking? Life's hard to be lost. Hassan, we are sorry. We were not aware with your game. In fact, it has a must go. No, I'm happy. I'm happy. Lakini vile tu siwezi shout. Siwezi cheka. Kesho mchana, I have to laugh this out because, oh my God, Kimani dogo. Karibu ameze dimples leo. Kidogo ameze dimples. Alishangaa Mungu alimpatia shimo kwa mashavu ya nini. Imereflect mpaka kwa akili. Anyway.
Before we talk about our self-proclaimed billionaire who had to correct someone and say, I'm not worth 5 billion, I'm worth 1 billion, as if that would make it better. Alikuwa pale Al Jazeera, gaslighting us as Kenyans. Let me first congratulate Honorable Mother Karua for the launch of her party, because we don't deserve this lady as Kenyans, and especially as the people of Mount Kenya, because she's always stood by the truth, and I wish her all the best. Kimani, of course, went to Al Jazeera and had to remind us how delusional we are as Kenya and tell us we are always imagining issues in our country because Kenya is a corrupt-free zone country. There is no corruption in this country. And then we also assumed the abductions and killings that happened of the young people. People actually abducted themselves and locked themselves in Airbnb to accuse the government. And the government is working. They have delivered their mandate to us, and we are just imagining problems. And all we do is make noise and complain on social media. Where?
I understand the audacity that Kimani has to ask the Al Jazeera presenter that he would believe Human Rights Watch to what he's saying. I would voluntarily ask you to host the president of Kenya. You think that one doesn't have chills? The Kenyan president is just another version of Venom. Host him. Then you will see the weirdest response, the worst of them all. Yeah. Unagopa hiyo ya Kimani? Iteni Pilato. You will run. Thou shall run. I don't think that presenter would even carry that interview to the end of it. Yeah. I am worried about the Al Jazeera presenter, Hassan Mehdi. Akiwa si abduct huyo. Unajua, we are dealing with deranged people in the KK regime. Unajua Ichungwa anaweza simama aende paka status aseme, you know, Hassan embarrassed me. You have to do something. I stood up for you. Akili ndogo ndogo, little brains. Msikie Mehdi out of the picture. I'm worried. Wasi abduct huyo. Huyo alituinjectia international. Letu ni jicho tu. Lakini Uswahilini mpaka tuchambe. Kimani, wewe umevuliwa nguo mbele ya dunia nzima. The audience that Al Jazeera has is too wide. Iyo sio JKL. Okay? Cha pili, atakayetuliza roho yako yuko Ikulu. Kimbia kabla haja change mood, yani hajakasirika, yani hajaanza kusema oh nitamsafirisha fulani, ama sijui ndo utafika huko alafu akusafirishe. Wajua ya huyo hayajulikani sana. Anywho, we did not send you. Hatukukutuma. Kwa hiyo kupata pole. Lakini hata hiyo pole ya nini bwana? Karangwa ukaive hata ukuiva vizuri. Na muwe na usiku mwema jamani. Mpumzike. Sawa?
My people, Kimani Ichungwa, yani hata kujiexpress tu inamshinda. Hassan, the Al Jazeera presenter. Goodos. Iyo roasting nimeona hapo. Kimanongo. Next time, jiwekanishe pamoja and try to pull up your socks. Yes, my brother. Yes. No, hizi haibu hapana. No. Natuaibisha kama Wakenya wae. Wae. Anyway. Aluta.
No, you could just be enjoying your day as a Kenyan, thankful to God that irregardless of everything happening around you, you are alive. Then you decide, let me enter social media and just consume some content, and I hope I don't run into, negative content. You enter TikTok, and of course, the first video you see is your cabinet minister in Bunge saying, in Senate saying the way she and Shah is working, and you're like, what? Then just before you get over that, you scroll through another video, you see, the kind of budgets that the State House is still asking to renovate the house on the hill, because, of course, the money we gave them in billions for last year was not enough. Then you're like, again, what? Then then you look at the budget that was used at AUC, again in billions. You see the Auditor General and her reports on how counties have been using money. You enter, you start reading kwanza for Nakuru County. You are like, oh my God, what did I even do to myself? Nilingia social media kufanya nini yo.
Hi. Your party seems to be very concerned with the criticism on social media. Why are you more sensitive to this than to the everyday troubles of the Kenyans, such as the rising cases of femicide, the abductions, corruptions?
True, we are very concerned, and I said I'm actually the one who in this show spoke to the issue of femicide because it's a matter that was of great concern to Kenyans. I'll tell you from where I sit. I am less concerned with what people say online, on social media. I had that engagement with somebody yesterday who is in this audience. And I told him, I have been called William Ruto's wife because I work closely with him. And I take it in my stride. But I will have to do my work and do it to the best of my ability. That's my concern, and I believe everybody within the Kenya Kwanza administration is less bothered by what people say online.
How can you say that when in the part one of this show? Hold on. Let me part one of this show.
Let me
Ichungwa from Amnesty said a guy did an AI image of the president in a coffin. Was treated viciously, violently. That was not you having a thick skin.
And maybe because you never allowed me to respond to that. Because
I did, but you can respond again if you want.
It's true what Ichungwa was saying and about the gentleman who had his hair shaved. And I said because we are a nation that wants to trust in institutions. We want to trust and believe that the investigative agencies that are investigating all those cases where people have claimed to have been abducted and things done to them that are unpalatable, that we get to the root cause of it so that you know who is it that was abducting these people. I told you there are three elements.
It's a very simple issue. Ichungwa cited a case of a young man who did an image mocking the president and he was tortured for it. That does not speak well to the thick-skinnedness of your government.
So the question is, who tortured him? Can you or me answer? You cannot answer, you cannot say with certainty.
So. I'm going to trust the guy who's tortured.
Ichungwa says it is suspected to be because the gentleman said they behaved like they were security agencies. I have seen cases in Kenya now, an unfortunate case in the recent past about 2 months ago, where a gentleman who was a manager in one of the security firms was killed and murdered by thugs masquerading as security officers in full police uniform.
How many of the 281 promises have been implemented?
I'll not give you a straight answer of 2 or 10 or 200, but I'll tell you.
You're the first politician who said to me, I will not give you a straight answer, just bluntly. I can give you an answer. I've got the answer. It's 14 out of 281 promises. That means 95% of your promises have not been met 2.5 years in.
That is your number, Mehdi, not my number.
It's not my number. It's the number of Mizalendo, a non-partisan parliamentary monitoring organization in Kenya that tracks all parties. They're saying 14 out of 281. I mean, we can run through some of them. President Ruto said he would give free internet and phone calls to Kenyans. He hasn't. He said he would start an inquiry into cronyism. He has not. He said he would ratify the International Convention Against Enforced Disappearances. He has not. I could go on and on. Kenyans are frustrated because they were lied to during the election campaign.
Well, Mehdi, as I told you, that is the perspective of Mzalendo. And that is their target.
Well, has he ratified the International Convention against enforced disappearances?
We have ratified very many international conventions.
But has he ratified the International Convention against He said he would do it straight as he comes to power. It's been 2.5 years. He could do it with a stroke of his pen. Why has he not done it?
He is yet to ratify, but it is
what are we waiting for?
Work in progress. Was there a timeline for its ratification, according to Mzalendo?
Many things had timelines on.
Was there a timeline?
He said he would do.
No timeline.
He said he would do a public inquiry into cronyism within 30 days. Has he done it?
Public inquiry?
Yeah, a public inquiry to establish the extent of cronyism and state capture and make recommendations. Page 61 of your manifesto. Has he done it? It's been more than 30 days. It's been 2.5 years.
I'll tell you, Mehdi, if you read the NADCO report, there are recommendations on what is to be done on state cronyism, on state capture, on extrajudicial killings. That is captured in the NADCO report.
But you haven't done what the manifesto called for on multiple things. And look, you know, and you admitted, to be fair, that people are unhappy. There's a perception of the government that's unpopular. Kenyans have been most upset about the cost of living. And yet, when thousands of young Kenyans took to the streets in protest of your government last year, the finance bill, your government opened fire on them. Super unpopular right now because he and you and your party haven't delivered for the people of Kenya. Your 2022 election manifesto made 281 promises. Can you tell our audience tonight how many of those have been fulfilled over the last 2.5 years?
True, as you say. The perception out there is that the administration is quite unpopular. Nothing uncharacteristic of any administration 2 years after an election, especially an administration that came into office in the backdrop of a very dilapidated economy with very many promises, as you said, but I can assure you that will change in due course. The implementation of a manifesto is page by page, chapter after chapter.
But you haven't implemented it. That's the problem.
It is being implemented.
How many of the 281 promises have been implemented?
I'll not give you a straight answer of 2 or 10 or 200, but I'll tell you.
You're the first politician who said to me, I will not give you a straight answer, just bluntly. I can give you an answer. I've got the answer. It's 14 out of 281 promises. That means 95% of your promises have not been met 2.5 years in.
That is your number, Mehdi, not my number.
It's not my number. It's the number of Mizalendo, a non-partisan parliamentary monitoring organization in Kenya that tracks all parties. They're saying 14 out of 281. I mean, we can run through some of them. President Ruto said he would give free internet and phone calls to Kenyans. He hasn't. He said he would start an inquiry into cronyism. He has not. He said he would ratify the International Convention against enforced disappearances. He has not. I could go on and on. Kenyans are frustrated because they were lied to during the election campaign.
Well, Mehdi, as I told you, that is the perspective of Mzalendo. And that is their target.
Well, has he ratified the International Convention against enforced disappearances?
We have ratified very many international conventions.
But has he ratified the International Convention against He said he would do it straight as he comes to power. It's been 2.5 years. He could do it with a stroke of his pen. Why has he not done it?
He is yet to ratify, but it is
work
in progress. Was there a timeline for its ratification, according to Mzalendo?
Many things had timelines on.
Was there a timeline?
He said he would do.
No timeline.
He said he would do a public inquiry into cronyism within 30 days. Has he done it?
Public inquiry?
Yeah, a public inquiry to establish the extent of cronyism and state capture and make recommendations. Page 61 of your manifesto. Has he done it? It's been more than 30 days. It's been 2.5 years.
I'll tell you, Mehdi, if you read the NADCO report, there are recommendations on what is to be done on state cronyism, on state capture, on extrajudicial killings. That is captured in the NADCO report.
But you haven't done what the manifesto called for on multiple things. And look, you know, and you admitted, to be fair, that people are unhappy. There's a perception of the government that's unpopular. Kenyans have been most upset about the cost of living. And yet, when thousands of young Kenyans took to the streets in protest of your government last year, the finance bill, your government opened fire on them, killed them, forcibly abducted and disappeared them. How do you justify such a violent crackdown on your own citizens in a democracy?
First, let me say this, Mehdi. As you said, because you never allowed me to answer the question on the promises kept. I told you the manifesto is being implemented chapter after chapter, right from housing to the cost of living that you're speaking about. Because, of course, you cannot judge what was to be done in 5 years. in a short 2 years.
Well, some of them you said you would do in 30 days and you haven't. But just deal with the violence. How do you justify what happened last summer in Kenya?
Now I'm coming to that. You said the cost of living. I can tell you what we've done with the cost of living, from the subsidizing of production rather than subsidizing consumption, as we promised in our campaigns. There were mega scandals.
So why have you dropped 3 places in the annual corruption rate?
Not a single mega scandal.
You made that point. I'm not disputing that.
Last week.
I'm asking why you've dropped 3 places in the annual ranking.
Because the indexes are based on perception. Today, Mehdi, when you ran out an advert that I was going to appear on this show, you have seen what has happened on Twitter, in Kenya and globally. Yeah.
Obviously, every politician has their critic.
On the Al Jazeera page, because Kenyans are like that. Kenyans are very participatory and active, and therefore,
so your country just looks corrupt because Kenyans are very vocal. Is that what you're saying?
Ask Kenyans, if you announce today that you are doing a corruption perception here today, and ask them is Kimani Ichungwa corrupt, they will all storm your pages and perceive me to be corrupt. We'll come back
to you in a moment.
Ask them to give you evidence of a single corruption case.
So hold on.
Against Kimani Ichungwa. They will not. The same for William Ruto. They will not give you a single scandal of corruption under this administration.
You say it's Kenyan perception. But it's not just Kenyan perception.
I quote, here's the perception driven by an active citizen.
No, if you let me finish a sentence, I'll tell you, US trade representative in 2024, the US government, ally of Kenya, said US firms routinely report direct requests for bribes from all levels of the Kenyan government.
He said, just as you heard it, it is an allegation by Justin Muturi, somebody who has...
Mr. Muturi says he went to the president and said, President Ruto, the intelligence service has taken my son. President Ruto called the head of your intelligence service and his son was released.
Have you heard Mehdi from President Ruto on the same? Have you heard from the director of intelligence?
You tell me what's President Ruto's... Has he denied it?
Have you heard from him?
No, I don't live in Kenya. You're the expert. Has President Ruto denied that?
So why don't you allow then me to tell you my take?
Do.
Because that's your take.
Please.
From what has been reported.
That's not my take. I'm reporting a member of your government. This is amazing. I'm quoting a member of your government, not the opposition, a member of your government who you're calling a liar because he says his son was abducted.
That's why I told you Justin Muturi, the former Attorney General and current Minister for Public Service, is a politician to begin with. Has beef with his boss. In the government itself.
Wow. So he made up a story about his son being abducted.
There are reasons. Wow,
Kenyan politics.
Will you allow me?
Please.
To make my point?
Please. This is just. I'm stunned.
There are reasons why Justin Muturi was removed as Attorney General around the time of the demonstrations in June of last year. There are reasons probably why Justin Muturi knows he's probably on his way out. It is him who has made those allegations. That is a matter under active investigations. As I told you,
has President Ruto denied it?
We have got, you need probably to invite him and ask him.
You can't speak
I am not President William Ruto, neither am I his spokesperson.
Has he denied it? It's a simple factual question, yes or no?
I have not heard him, and I don't know if he has been asked to...
So one of the... I just want to recap for our viewers, just to be followed. Kenyans have been most upset about the cost of living, and yet when thousands of young Kenyans took to the streets in protest of your government last year, the finance bill, your government opened fire on them, killed them, forcibly abducted and disappeared them. How do you justify such a violent crackdown on your own citizens in a democracy?
First, let me say this, Mehdi. Unfortunately, all demonstrations end up with deaths, which is a very unfortunate incident. And it is not true that people demonstrate and you open fire. It is just the nature of what happens with our demonstrations, that they turn violent and the police have to intervene. And let me say that at this point, it's not just unfortunate. We all regret the loss of life during the 2022 demonstrations and even the demonstrations of June last year. Unfortunate that lives had to be lost, but it was not that fire was opened on young.
Yeah, the way you talk, lives had to be lost. No, lives were taken. Right, people were shot in the head.
I'll tell you from the last year's demonstrations, 3 are already in court.
3 police officers are being prosecuted.
3 are being prosecuted.
Are being prosecuted, but none have been prosecuted.
Another 34 cases. Before you prosecute somebody, you have got to investigate. So you have to investigate.
This is what Human Rights Watch said last year. Bodies of people showing signs of torture continue to turn up in rivers, forests, quarries, mortuaries. The authorities have yet to investigate or prosecute anyone for these crimes. Kenya has a history of police brutality and lack of accountability for serious abuse. So that's Human Rights Watch.
You want to believe what Human Rights Watch said, not what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to believe a human rights group over a politician who started by saying, I won't give you straight answers.
It is their take, Mehdi. It is their take. And I didn't come here to give their take. I came here to give my take and the perspective.
So they're wrong, you think? The police officers are being held to account?
They are wrong because the police officers must be held to account.
But they haven't been.
And that is why we have institutions that will hold them to account.
I want to bring in, you are a community leader, Kenyan community leader in the diaspora. What do you make of this study that was done by a non-partisan group which shows 14 promises out of 281 in the manifesto have been fulfilled? Do you think that's what's driving a lot of Kenyan frustration?
These are the messes that the current government inherited. And through the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, which the president always talks about, and he prioritized 5 areas, is to create jobs for these people, to create things to do.
You keep saying inherited. Isn't President Ruto, wasn't he a long-standing senior member of the previous government?
Well,
how do you inherit something you were in?
Mehdi.
Listen, Mehdi.
What am I missing?
Okay, I've just watched Kimani Ichungwa embarrass himself on international media. He was on Al Jazeera. And I've realized Jambazi is a really sadistic motherfucker. That man is that man will humiliate you for the fuck of it. In fact, initially when I saw that he's going to do an interview, I was like, kwani even Al Jazeera can get bribed to wait? Because I was like, there is no way he is going to do an interview of his own volition to be asked questions that he has no control over. You need to realize, Jambazi's regime, this isn't a regime that you can twist words and paraphrase things that you get away. In fact, the interview starting, Mehdi is asking him a question. Ichungwa is like, I'll not give you a straight answer. Hadi Mehdi is like, I have never had a politician say something like that in my life. Yani, ameanza tu interview, he is just looking stupid. Because, tell me why would Jambazi tell him to go and do that interview? GOK's reputation is unsalvageable. And he's starting to compare Jambazi with Akina Assad, and he's actually like, Kenya got more votes. He's like, hey, who voted? Who voted at you? Kenyans are very vocal. He's like, yes, that's the point. It's to be vocal. Guy. He's just there at you. Oh, at you've only completed 18 of your 281 manifestos. At I'm not sure. Guy. He's being asked, why are the Kenya police murdering protesters, abducting them, and then covering it up? He's trying to say, we have a working constitution. We have cannot give a single straight answer. Jambazi knows his regime is unsalvageable. Why did he have to humiliate that man like that? What was the point?
So guys, kuna huyu content creator anaitwa Jacob Hoff. Sijui hata ni wa country gani, but ana making videos like how will I say it, like kitu kama the coldest countries in the world, number 10, number what like that. And so alimake ya the worst presidents. Alimake ya the worst presidents in the world. Guess nani ndio number 1? Tuna perform. Guess nani ndio number 1? You guessed it right. Must Go. Imagine Must Go ndio number 1, the worst. Anyway, at least tuko sure hawajamuibia.
The top 3 countries with the most dangerous president. Number 3 is North Korea with Kim Jong-un. Now, as we all know, he's just a madman, and he's more threatening to the people inside of North Korea, highly suppressive, highly controlling, and if they disobey him, they go to these work camps where basically it's a punishment worse than death. Number 2 is Vladimir Putin of Russia. Now, Putin is a danger not only to the Russian people, but to the outside world. world, and he is just a monster. Russia also has the most nuclear weapons of any country in the world, which is terrifying, and Putin's attack on the Ukraine has just been a mess. If you like this list and want more about other nonsense, follow me. Leave me a comment with the country you think has the worst or most dangerous president. Also follow my wife Samantha, who I've tagged. Number 1, this one is really important, and I did a list of the worst presidents in the world, and so many people reached out about him, and there's been a lot of media suppression from him, and because of how much we don't know about him, it makes him even scarier, and that he's controlling the media, and we're not seeing the terrible, terrible things he does. But this is William Ruto of Kenya.
Should Raila Odinga work with President William Ruto?
That's a good question. That should he work with William Ruto? Work on what? The conversation should not be about which person gets what position. It should be about what are the issues that affect our people. A political conversation should be about how to make the lives of the people better.
William Samoei Ruto has a plan to destroy Raila Amolo Odinga. Remember, it's not only that kumbuka si Raila peke yake anajua Ruto. Even Ruto knows who Raila is. And there is a plan and a strategy called give someone everything so you can take away everything when the time is right. So William Ruto is looking forward to giving Raila even the entire government, apart from the presidency, apart from his seat. Raila can have whatever he wants in William Ruto's government, but in the end, that will destroy Raila Amolo Odinga more than it will destroy William Ruto. Should Raila think of betraying William Ruto after having given him the government, that will backfire on Raila Odinga, because it's common sense. William Ruto atamwambia, nilikupatia karibu serikali yote, ukashindwa kutransform the economy. Sasa you want to run against me, but what can you do with a government that you did not do when I gave you power? It's a strategy that works, because remember, it is not only William Ruto that knows Raila, and it's not only Raila that knows William Ruto, even William Ruto knows Raila. And so, from where I'm seated, William Ruto has no problem with giving Raila every part of the government he wants apart from his presidential seat. Otherwise, anything else he can give. But in the long run, if Raila is thinking that he can have his cake and eat it, it will destroy him more than it will destroy William Ruto. And that is why I keep saying, Raila is always that sacrificial lamb of every failed regime. It comes to bite him more than it bites the owner of the government. Yes, so where Raila, and by the way, you see, Martha Karua has said today, she has rebranded her party. So I don't think the offer for Raila to run as president itakuwa kwa table for a very long time with Kenyans. There is another voice that can emerge. There is Martha, because what we are looking for again is integrity. Character is an integrity revolution. Pia Martha Karua is one person who stands out as a person of integrity. Tides can change towards her favor. This is politics of Kenya. Everything and anything is possible in our politics. Sawa sawa?
Lakini mbona tuongelelea hii story? Niko sure tu kuna mjinga anangoja miezi 3 iishe anze kucomment kwa video za watu. Rest in peace Chebukati, ndio nimetoa simu kwa fundi. Shameless. Akina complex yes cheka. Shame on you. Comment say rest in peace. In the next 1 week, mtu akiandika rest in peace utaona wewe.
Mimi niko na swali, and we need to address this by the way. Why is it so hard for men to let go of their hair? No, but for real. Like umeona tu kihara imeanza kumea. Why not let go? Si like tu unyoe kipara. Why are you still... Why is it so hard? Me, I don't understand. I don't get it. Ati ushindage tu na kofia. Kwa sababu kihara inamea na utaki ku-accept. Hapana, imagine kubalini tu, anzeni tu ku-accept. Inawanyimanga mpaka raha. Kwa sababu you'll appear for something very official, probably with a cape. And because of what? Kubali tu unyoe Jordan. Kubali tu. Kabisa huwa na try ku understand ninashindwa. Hebu make me understand. Na hakuna target audience. Ama kuko naye.
Nianze wase, niko fiti. Manze unajua hii story ni ngori. Youths hapa mtaani hatuna ma ID. ID ni kitu ya maana, tunafaa tukue nayo.
We as a Gen Z, we've talked, we've marched, we've fought for change. But what is all this if we don't show up where it matters?
We the Gen Z are the pulse of this country. The future is in our hands.
Lakini bila ID, that power is not.
Hii ID is more than just a card. It's the key to opportunities. Ni ufunguo to freedom, the change we have been waiting for.
Why is an ID important? It is because you cannot vote without an ID card. So if you don't have an ID card, one, you do not exist in this country.
As you can see, they are mocking us. What are they saying? That sisi tuko tu pale online, lakini kura ni kwa ground. Now, what can we do? Let's register for our IDs. And for you to register for your ID, you can visit your chief's office because they have all that power with them. Again, we have over 900 registration centers across the country. We have 55 Huduma centers. And then we have 360 sub-county offices. We account for about 70% of the population. That means if we vote, we get to choose who will be our leader.
2027 will be our moment as the Gen Zs. Ngoja kwanza. We work hard, we push our boundaries, but when it comes to choosing the leaders to determine our future, we are not involved anywhere. Our voices, no numbers zetu hazimati mazee. So what are we supposed to do? Go get your ID, register as a voter, and then come out and vote in 2027. It's that simple.
My fellow young people, the Gen Z, it is high time we understand the politics of our country. We must understand what role politics play in our lives. And until we get politically mature, we will always be maneuvered, swayed, or deceived into supporting people politically, those who don't have Kenyan interest at heart.
2027, without your ID, you will not be able to vote. What are you doing without your ID? I will urge all of us to hold each other accountable. Uliza mzae, uliza madhe, uliza beshte yako kama kona ID.
The cost of living is going high. They are killing us and abducting us every day. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to send them home. How are we going to send them home?
You make sure you have your ID for 2027 so that we make sure we pump new blood of good leadership and are good leaders and have a better country because our motherland is where we are.
Identity yetu, Kenya ni yetu.
Our future, our choice.
Identity yetu, Kenya ni yetu.
Identity yetu, Kenya ni yetu. We can do this, guys.
Twende tukapate ID bana. Mimi mwenyewe niko na ID yangu. Here's my ID. Salute you all.
To my fellow young Kenyans, if you are not a registered voter, please make the time to go and register as a voter. Because Kenya's future depends on you and me. So how do you register? There are IEBC offices in every constituency, and that is where you register. So please find the location of the IEBC office in your constituency and register. All you need to carry is your identification card or your passport. There are those who are saying that Huduma centers are registering voters. Huduma centers do not have an IEBC desk as of now, maybe later. So please go register and let's prepare to save Kenya together. And for those who have registered, please go to the IEBC portal and verify your details. Please.
Now, so some of you are very wicked. And I don't have up to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Some of you are my village people. You are my village people. I will not hide mouth. All of you are my village people. You are the one that is following me. Go and subscribe to my YouTube to prove to me that you are not my village people. Thank you.
Wa Kenya. Ati Trump aliweka Biblia chini akaanza kazi. na kuna mwingine aliyeka Biblia chini akaanza wizi. Nyinyi mutakujiwa, nyinyi ongeeni tu hivyo.
By the way, guys, if y'all have not realized, Trump has been a sworn-in president for less than 48 hours. But the changes he's already making are massive. Like, he's making big decisions in less than 48 hours. In less than 48 hours, amemaliza LGBTQ. Amesema huko kuna gender mbili peke yake, male and female. In less than 48 hours, amerudisha TikTok. In less than 48 hours, anyway, na kuna huyu wenyu anafanya campaign. Anafanya campaign. Ai. Mungu tusamehe. Anafanya campaign. Anafanya hey.
Mheshimiwa William Ruto, wewe ni mwizi. Msaidizi wako ni mwizi. Na lazima tunaomba kwamba Mheshimiwa William Ruto, omba wa Kenya msamaha. Omba wa Kenya msamaha kwa sababu ya yale maovu ambayo uliyafanya na Wakenya wanaumia.
We will not tire. We will not be scared. Tuko tayari. Polisi wajitayarisha mpaka jioni. Ni kukimbiana hapa na pale. Wanasa kwame. Wanasa ai. Wanasa wololo. Wanasa.
Enda pole pole. Cool down. We are not cooling down any soon. In fact, it might get hotter.
We will consolidate. Kisungu kubwa. And after we consolidate, we will strategize.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Hello.
And don't buy into the political rhetoric of trying to divide you into tribes.
Yes.
Our problems are not tribal. There is no Kikuyu problem, there is no Kalenjin problem, there is no Luo problem, there is no Somali problem. There is no Kamba problem.
Yes.
Shift share knows no tribe. The university funding model knows no tribe.
Yeah.
Joblessness knows no tribe. All these problems that we point out, they do not know any tribe.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. What song? Yeah, that song. That song? Maybe I think about it. Oh, no. Know what? I slow it down. Say, ladies, do me this solid. Ooh.
Kusambaza hiyo message. Thank you. Fagia?
What?
I'll take it to all the corners. You take it to the entire nation. Yes. Yeah? Yes. It is a very solid car. Thank you, sir. Ndugu yangu, God bless you. Fagia wote. Kazi yangu. Asante. Ndugu yangu. Good luck, my brother. Thank you so much. Good luck. Good luck. All the best. Thank you, sir. It's time for a fresh start. Tunafagia wote. Your Excellency.
I alafu matopare. Okay, matopare. Matopare. Topa. Matopare. Matopare. Topa.
Tuesday. Tunarudi uwanjani.
She asked me, baby, where you from? I told her, Kenya.
I beg of us, I really want to beg of us today, as the chair of UDA, let's stay focused to what it is we promise those hustlers. Because if we don't deliver, those hustlers will send us out of power, and they'll send us with vengeance. So let us talk about roads, electricity, education, health, types. Let's tone down on the politics. It is not healthy. It is not healthy. It is the wrong time.
Wananchi inaweza sikia kuchukua William Ruto. Wanaweza mchukua kwa sababu sisi wananchi, we don't need him. Ametuchosha. Ama nyinyi mjachoka? Mjachoka na Ruto? Ule mtu anataka kuchukua William Ruto, you can take him for free, take Wetangula for free, take Mudavadi for free. Tunawapea hizo takataka zote waende waongoze if they are good to you.
Majenzi mko? Kazi mnafanya kwa mtandao ni mzuri sana. Na tunapongeza nyinyi. Na muendelee. Mtaendelea. Lakini mtandao peke yake haitoshi. Tunataka mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Wale watu ambaye watakomboa Kenya hii, wenye kuamua Kenya itaongozwa namna gani, ni hao majenzi wetu mwaka wa 2027. Lakini hamwezi amua Kenya itakaa namna gani kwa simu peke yake. Lazima mchukue vitambulisho, lazima mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Siku hiyo ikifika muamuke saa 9, muungane na sisi na wengine, tuende pale kwa debe, tutafute uongozi wa maana ambaye utaheshimu wa Kenya, utaheshimu demokrasia na utakubali kufanyia kila mtu maendeleo. Tumekubaliana majenzi?
Hata nasahau tarehe ni gani. Mimi siko na tarehe kwa kalenda. Na mimi hata sina haja nayo. Mimi chenye niko nayo ni serikali ya 2027. Huyu mkata ushuru tumtoe. Na tuungane si wote.
Meta vile naona nisha reject hiyo finance bill 2025. Ningoje tu date ya maandamano. Juu mambo yendi bana. Mimi hata wafanye nini? Mimi nisha reject. Mufanye nini? Nisha reject. Mufanye nisha reject. Nime reject. Mtoe date ya maandamano sasa.
And we are not alone. There's a new force of nature at hand, stirring all over the world. They are the young people whom, frankly, we have failed, who are angry, who are organized, who are capable of making a difference. They are a moral army. And the most important thing that we can do for them is to get the hell out of their way.
Kwanza mimi ikifika 2027 naiba mpaka kura ya madhangu na budangu. Sitaki warudi tu huko tena. Si mazi tuchachanuka. Madha zetu bado Ruto unaenda home na 13 parliament tunaivunja. Wende home wote tuanze fresh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must go. Kwa hapa na hatuendi. Kwa hapa tunalala huku na hatuendi. We don't fear you guys. You hypocrites. We don't fear you. Mr. Speaker, we don't fear you. Tuko ndani. We stomped inside. Sisi ni nani? I'm inside. Niko ndani. Na tunamalizana na nyinyi. Tunamalizana na nyinyi. Mmetutesa sana. Today is today. You must hear our cry. Sisi ni sisi. Mtatusikiza. Hii ni bunge yetu. Sisi tumewafanya mko hapa. This is our parliament. You must hear us. Kama hamna masikio, tutawafanya msikie. Poa manze.
Sasa nini? President tunataka kuambia uko na miaka 2 katika ofisi. Na hawa wananchi hawa they will punish you na hata ukiwa na pesa kwa kutoa nje.
Wacheni tu mimi niseme na mapema. Ndio kama kuna list na andiko mniweke kwa list. I can't wait to reject Finance Bill 2025. I can't wait because I know it will be something absurd. It will be something mental. I can't wait. Mniweke kwa list jameni. List ya reject.
Idiots who don't want to participate in the affairs of their nation. They think things will just work in and of themselves. Then they are tribalists. And these tribalists, they think that they are only safe with people who are from their tribe. And tribe can mean people from the same culture, same language, or same culture. Then they are citizens. These are individuals who are responsible and know that when you want to be served, you must give those who have the desire and the intellectual capacity to serve you. In many societies, it is only a small percentage of people that can be called citizens, not more than 5%. And if a society wants to grow in the right direction, civic education is what will help the idiot and the tribalist to become a citizen.
Itoe Ruto Kenya, hata kama angalau na jali. Sisi Kenya tumechoka na Ruto, maisha imetuharibikia, analipisha mpaka sodo ya wamama. Pure kabisa Ruto. We don't like you, go home. Sasa tafuta kiongozi ambaye anapenda mwananchi na anapenda kijana kama sisi.
They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. And there is no shortage of such men and women in the African continent.
Now, why do you want Ruto gone?
We want Ruto gone because he is killing innocent people. He's wanting to pass the Finance Bill 2024. He's putting tax on sanitary products that girls can't even buy. He can't go to school. He's corrupt. He's taking the money. He needs to go.
Yes.
Out. If you're going to raise anything, start with your hairline.
Nice.
Control, Alt, Delete, Ruto. The drunk did better than you. Drunk did better than you.
Nice.
Now the next election,
yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote ama mtasema namna gani? This generation,
yes,
they use their might because they didn't vote, the largest vote in the last election.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mengi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.